Well, friends, today, if you're looking around, everything is standstill. The reason is that what's happening is a pandemic of COVID virus, a scared feel, a feel with which we are always breathing with a kind of fear. Whenever we interact with each other, there's always a kind of depression and fear. Environment is very negative. We have been listening various videos, many doctors, many scientists all over the world are being posting with their opinions and views. There's no country in the world which is left which is not infected with this virus. Every day, everything we go on the media, digital as well as television, as well as print media, and find out what's happened. Are there any drugs? Are there any vaccines are happening? But believe me, all this to happen is a long journey because the birth of this particular COVID virus is a very short span of life, which has just recently formed. Now, what is the source of this virus, which has come from an animal or has been developed in the lab? Let's not debate on this thing. But today's condition says that we need to find out how we can stop the spread of this virus. First principle. Second principle, if at all it goes in a phase 3, community based, what else we can do? The community based spread is a very disastrous spread. It's a spread where everything is going to be a big challenging job, particularly for the country like India. China, I agree, they could manage it. US will face it and come out of it like. Italy is already in the worst phase. Spain is in the worst phase. France in the worst phase. Look, they are far ahead in technology, economic wise, infrastructure wise. Still, they have challenges and still they are unable to cope up. For a country like India, where there are many other big challenges, the first step what we have taken is isolation, barricading ourselves, quarantining ourselves, social distancing, which is a very, very wise decision and we are trying to work upon it. But at the same time, when we are working on social distancing, itself has its own challenges on economy, functions of the country, and the entire development of the country. We keeping that balanced, if we have a next process of thinking in the mind, can we stop the spread of the disease in addition to this using some technologies and understanding the biological behavior of the virus? So we need to understand what's the biological behavior of the virus. Biological behavior of the virus says it's a protein, it's not a life, it's not a bacterium, it doesn't have life, it's a just multiplying protein. That's a bioprotein which exists in the form like RNA or DNA, but it is covered with a lipid cover. It's coached up with a lipid cover, has spikes of proteins on it which are called as S proteins and L proteins, which keeps on mutating. Then it has a positive charge, electrical, and it gets attracted towards always a negative charge. Whereas in our cells in our body has got a ACE inhibitor, ACE proteins receptors, which are having negative potentials, negative charge. That's how this virus gets attracted towards these cells and enters in the cell, where it gets replicated in the DNA system of the cell and it spreads. Suppose, is there any way by which we can, in addition to social distancing, if we add these 2-3 different 100% safe molecules, safe product technologies, which are absolutely not having any challenges like drugs for the treatment or vaccines for preventing or stopping the disease, where there are no safety trials, efficacies, nothing has happened, and we are working and spending billions of dollars, billions of rupees on the molecules which are not in our hand. Whereas these things which I'm going to talk to you today are in our hand, which is in addition to social distancing, if we add a molecule, a peptide, which can block these surface proteins of the virus, and which is much possible. These peptides could be manufactured in the peptide synthesis processes, which could be between 12 amino acids to 50 amino acids, the small proteins chains, which can be having the charge towards negative charge peptides, which can go and attract and block the positive receptors or S proteins on the viruses, so as the virus is deactivated. This could be one possibility. This is also some of the universities in US are working. How do we manufacture these peptides, which are 100% safe, which can be easy without having long-term side effects, short and long-term side effects are not there, and that can block the peptide as a protein which is not going to attract towards the negative ACE receptors on the cells, and we can block the chain here itself, which is much possible. The second way what we can do is that in spite the protein has got, virus has got in the body, we can use peptides to block them affecting the cells. Whereas the second one which we could do is that is an electron molecules with a negative charge, and gadgets could be developed which can produce the electron molecules with a negative charge on it line. And these electron molecules go, because virus doesn't know whether it is a ACE receptor having a negative charge or an electron molecule which has a negative charge. So whether it is attaching to a cell or attaching to electron molecule, he doesn't know. Virus is a non-living molecule, it's a protein. It doesn't sense anything. It doesn't have any kind of feelings. It doesn't have any kind of an understanding on the environment also. It just gets attracts and blocks. Now, if these electron molecules, electrons we can produce by using gadgets, which I'm giving you references, some of the references I'm going to send for you on my Facebook also. You can read those both the references so you'll understand how we can use these kind of gadgets which can produce electron molecules with negative charge, and these charges can go and attract to the S proteins or positive molecules, positive charges, and the virus is blocked. Now this virus cannot get attracted to the negative charge ACE receptors on the cells, in spite they are there on the surface of the surface, where the biological behavior, it says those are the large size viruses. They fall on the surfaces through droplets and survive, depending on various stories are coming up there on the steel. They survive for those few hours or few days. On plastic, on papers, they say it survives for so much time. And if these remain like that, and if you touch them and this hand goes on your face, anywhere in the saliva or in the nostril or the ear, where it can infect and pass on the virus in your body, where it gets a chance to infect you. Suppose we block their receptors, yes, proteins, by using these things. In spite virus there for 24 hours or 48 hours, it will die of its own by outbursting the covering of the virus, which is a lipoprotein. If it happens this, the probably we can achieve. We can stop the virus spread in a country like India. And these gadgets are going to be costly, maximum few hundred to few thousand rupees, 200, 500 rupees, or few thousand or 2,000 rupees, depending on the area of where it can spread these electron molecules and block on the surface of the receptors or S proteins on the viruses. This is much possible, and these trials are going on Maryland University in US, there where these gadgets can be produced in any small workshops which can produce this kind of electron molecules with negative charge. So look, if we look beyond what the world is doing, probably our innovations can prove that we can block the spread of the disease at even surfaces where we are working places. Now with this technology, what we can achieve in a country like India, we can block the spread of the disease, at the same time continue your economy going at a smaller scale. Still the entire cycle is broken. So we don't have to completely lose our economy, at the same time we don't have to spread the disease. At the same time we can achieve our target of blocking the chain, stop breaking the chain. These are the 2-3 concepts which I wanted to talk today, and which has a different thought process. I'm not going to talk on the antivirals or drugs like chloroquine or hydrochloroquine or azathioprine or vaccines, which are far away distance, because there are a lot of trials are pending on this. Safety is to be studied, efficacy is to be studied. Vaccine, again, a long history, 1 year or 2 years. Till then, we cannot wait for this. But if we use the concept which I'm talking to you today, we can stop the disease and tackle these virus so easily, so inexpensive way that we can come out of the COVID-19 issue of fear that it will destroy the human race and economy of the world. Thank you. Was it good?